somebody shone a little daylight upon this world that we live in right now. Because I do not know about you, but if we do not form this soon, we're gonna be in deep trouble. And by form this, we need a front line.
Hey, welcome to the Friday What the Fuck Live. I'm Reverend Aaron. I am here with Punker Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Can't see him because you got to see Selector first.
You wanna push me under a bus. I feel restless, you need to believe. And something more that I wanna set free. My mind is full, my heart is empty. It's hard to live in a world of plenty. I see, the less I feel, you still make dreams. But when I breathe, I die out of the streets. Front line, out of the streets. I hear a hungry beat. I saw a man punched up his feet. He tried to be all he could be. He showed it up, now I can't breathe. My mind is full, my heart is empty. It's hard to live in a world of plenty. The more I see, the less I feel. You still make dreams, but when I breathe, front line, out of the streets. Front line, out of the streets. Nobody's hashtag. Everybody shout out. Nobody's hashtag. Nobody's hashtag at all.
It's authority, trustee, before I was started telling my best. You don't know me, I'm good, you my name.
Look at this girl, I'm on a rush. You wanna push me under a bus. I feel need to believe. There's something more that I wanna set free. There's something more that I wanna set free. There's something more that I wanna set free. Nobody's hashtag. Everybody shout out. Nobody's hashtag. Nobody's hashtag at all.
My mind is full, my heart is empty. It's hard to live in a world of plenty. The more I see, the less I feel. You still make dreams, but when I breathe, front line, out of the street. 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 Front line.
I had total bad echo and extra things going on that shouldn't have been going on there. I hope that did not screw it up for you at home, but that won't happen for the rest of the show. God, I hope that didn't screw up that Selector song because it's really good. Anyway, you're up on video, Michael.
Aloha, welcome.
So this is
I'm just running over some of the one of the stories that we had discussed about talking tonight. That's all, my friend.
excellent. So we're going to talk about a number of things tonight, but let's. I want to explain kind of what this is and what it's gonna regularly be.
Good luck.
Yeah, we're gonna if we have lost our shit completely, but we're gonna try and do this for 2 hours
Well,
one
okay,
day.
what's different than that? We lose our shit normally on a regular basis, bro. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go
and
ahead.
I'm not even looking for it. So there you go. But we want to do this Monday and Wednesday and Friday for now, and ultimately 5 days a week. We're doing a 2-hour show in the evening on the day's news and occurrences and whatever from a anti-capitalist socialist perspective, and a old cantankerous punk rock one as well, right?
Exactly.
And
yeah, there's that.
And then what we're going to try and do is revamp the What the Fuck report, the weekly What the Fuck report, into a Sunday show, which would be kind of a recap of the week and really just a more chill time, a little less politics, a little more just kind of hanging out with the Punks for Progress crew. I mean, we're growing all the time. I think we're at 11 people now that are part of the fam, and so we'll hang out with them and play music and whatever and have a good time on Sundays and but for now, as a tester, we're going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday and see if we haven't bitten off more than we can handle because I had to get another job because those Soros checks got light the last few months. I mean, I don't know what yours have been like, bro, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hit up my boss at work for a promotion because, like you say, those Soros checks are getting light right now about this time of year.
He had to rig the elections. There was a lot of money involved. I understand.
Well, you know how those Democrats are, right?
Yeah. Oh, you should see them at the Antifa High Command meetings. God, Pelosi at the Antifa High Command meetings, she's just intolerable, dude. She's so insufferable. I just wish Soros would fire her, is all I'm saying. But look, we're going to be talking about a number of things. A bunch of people have declared their candidacies. Trump might declare a national emergency for his.
Yeah, right? Like, is he or isn't he?
Well, we're going to get into that. And there's developments in the Steve King isn't a racist. He just thinks that white supremacy is cool. He got on the Senate floor today, dude. Public record, and ran his goddamn mouth trying to defend his blatant racist bullshit. So we got some shit we're going to talk about that.
Where is he from? Is he a senator or House rep?
Shit.
Good question. I'll look it up. Go ahead.
I was going to say Ohio, but then I might even be thinking of Mo Brooks. Because I just jammed my brain through that stuff. So, but we'll when we get into the clips and stuff, you'll
House of Representatives.
Yeah. So, one more thing before we get into, I did want to say, dude, we have been at this a little under 3 years, and we actually have a pretty cool little following, and we want to continue to make this better for all of you amazing people that are that small following, and so the way we're
and because we strive for progress. So we're trying to get better. I mean, if you started watching us 3 years ago or listening to us 3 years ago, we were janky as shit.
Oh, yeah.
So we've come a long way in the last 3 years, and we want to progress, right?
Right. But we so the format for tonight's show is going to be what we're going with. What we would ultimately like to do is get the proper software and the proper camera, so the news clips and things and music that I'll be casting up on this screen, we could send it straight to the camera and you would see it full screen and stuff. So that's the goal right now. And we're going to do some things like we are going to start rolling out the Patreon stuff, but we really want to set it up more where we have some merchandise and stuff to provide for people. People have expressed donating money to us, and we're really into it, but I don't know, I'm an old punk rocker, man. It's just like there needs to be something on the merch table other than the band just played. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have some stuff that you get, because we're going to do this for free anyway, and whether anybody gave us some money or not, we would still be doing this bullshit. But
Right, but the bottom line is, I mean, like, if you guys dig us and you want like a T-shirt or something, and you're willing to kick down like $20 or something, we're gonna use that to buy a fucking camera so that we can shoot the shit right up on the screen. We can do this like constantly and like make it kind of legit. And then you know what, you get a fucking Puncture Progress T-shirt out of the deal.
Yeah.
You're part of us, man. I mean, and that's kind of what what we're striving for. So,
yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, hit us up and shoot us out in the chat and let us know. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are down for some Puncture Progress merch, hit us up because that's what we're thinking of doing. Maybe throw out some suggestions. We're thinking T-shirts and coffee mugs. That's quick and easy, and we can knock those out. And I mean, look, we're only
he keeps thinking T-shirts and coffee mugs. I'm into like beanies. I like shot glasses more than coffee mugs. Okay, so like, but he's stuck on that. But the thing is, Mike is the one who is actually heading up like getting us set up with this merchant stuff. So we're still developing it right now and trying to find proper places to get printing done and special order stuff from and bulk and whatever and comparing prices and whatever. But so stay with us and continue to view. We're going to be doing daily What the Fucks on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we'll do the weekly What the Fuck report on Sunday, and we'll keep you posted on these developments. But so,
and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. So, all kinds of people have, at least, well, 3 people have either outright declared or done everything short of declaring. We have Elizabeth Warren, who declared first.
Oh yeah, she talked about that. What was it, last week? She said that she might do that or blah.
Well,
blah.
no, she opened up her exploratory committee, which opens her up to funds. Electoral funds. That was her declaring that she's running for office, but she'll want to make a speech on a cool day that's significant and whatever. But then you have Kamala Harris, who is essentially doing kind of the same stuff. She's on her book tour and making the rounds and talking about how.
I think she had a book come out today or yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's all like, this is right in the time when.
And it's accepted by everybody in the Washington circles. Everyone's just like, Kamala Harris is running. She has, she said something about she wants to declare it on Martin Luther King Day. Is that right? Was that Kamala Harris that said that? And then today, Tulsi Gabbard.
My Tulsi? You mean my Tulsi from Hawaii said she's going to run for president? Oh, you know what? That's interesting because I read an article today about Tulsi. And I ain't all fucking progressive as we all think she is.
What do you know?
Yeah, I mean, which is, I've kind of been, in her corner, man. But from what I read today, I'm not too stoked on it. I mean, I think I've made my fucking opinion pretty clear about how I feel about war. Right, Aaron? I mean, fucking hate it. I'm not down about killing people. Fuck that.
Especially
right?
For just money and greed for a handful of disgusting fucking capitalist swine.
Basically, right. Okay, so apparently, from this article that I read, even though Tulsi comes out and says, no, she's anti-war, and she actually started out, dude, like really super fucking conservative. She was anti-LGBT. I think her dad, wrote something. Her dad was part of, I want to say, the city council here in Honolulu, and I mean, they're involved in politics here on the island for a number of years, but came out with this whole anti-LGBT thing, and she fucking backed it. And then I guess she went and served time in Iraq, and it kind of changed her mind, and she's kind of come back out against it. But, the bottom line is, dude, it's like, I don't know if we can all trust you. The article I read says that the LGBT community and some of the organizations within that community don't necessarily trust her position on that because of how she's been about it. She does bring out legislation regarding, for LGBT community members and so forth, but it's still kind of an iffy thing. What really got me, bro, was this war thing, though. is that if you listen to her talk about war, she talks about how it's devastated Americans and how it kills Americans and how it's so bad for America. And it's like, yeah, what about the other fucking people that we're killing? What about the countries that we're devastating with our fucking endless wars? What about them? That's never brought up. So it's almost as nationalism disguised as anti-war, which is kind of troubling to me.
So what?
So, I mean, the bottom line is, bro, first of all, Kamala Harris, she may be a Democrat, but she's a fucking corporate Democrat. She has been from the start. I'm not going to fucking argue with anybody about it. Do your own goddamn research. The bottom line is she's a fucking corporate Democrat, and she's going to continue war and all the other bullshit.
And Kamala Harris,
like Obama did.
She's a cop. She started out as a district attorney.
Lawyer. She's a fucking lawyer, dude.
As a district attorney. So she's a prosecutor. She's a pig. She's a cop, man. And you know, Mike Gams, newest member of the P4P family. Please follow him on Twitter. He's fucking hilarious, and he's a proper righteous, in the street, anti-fascist, and just all over the place defending marginalized people and street activism. But anyway, he tweeted out a picture of Kamala Harris in her little fucking cop jacket with all kinds of fucking ICE and Border Patrol people in front of the fucking wall. All smiley giggly. You know, and it's just once a cop, always a cop, man. I just don't trust cops. Sorry, I don't.
I haven't trusted her from the start. I never have. You know, Tulsi, on the other hand, I liked her, but there was just something in my gut that didn't sit right. And after reading this article, I'm like, no, it makes sense. I'm like, she is not as progressive as she makes it out to be. And we've got to be extremely careful of these fucking... Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, of course we don't want Trump in there, and he's horrible and all this bullshit that he's doing, but so you put somebody in there that's going to continue this fucking 18-year war in Afghanistan? You're going to put somebody in there... I mean, she's fucking hawkish, dude. She's seriously hawkish. You know, and she said that she's
I don't know a whole lot about her. She's a veteran, right? Am I right? Or am I wrong about that?
Yes, Iraq. She's an Iraq veteran, yes.
Yeah,
and she's like, you know, very attractive, and she surfs, and she's like way fucking cool and shit. But I'm like, you know, but you come out and you say all this stuff, but you're not necessarily living up to it, man. And you know what I mean? Yeah, war's horrible, but you got to fucking stop it then. You don't say, oh yeah, it's bad for America. Yeah, it's bad for America, but it's bad for fucking Afghanistan.
You know what, man? It's just like, dude, I been fucked with by cops like back when I was younger and I'd wear my leather jacket a lot with all the bands all over it and spikes and all that shit and man, you know, you'd have 3 cops telling me, you know, questioning my fucking heterosexuality and my life choices, and then you got the one guy going, oh yeah, I like the germs, dude, you know, and like, you know, who gives, go fucking fuck off, you like the germs, you know. More than once I'd had that happen.
Are you trying to be human right now?
Right. And you're trying to act like you like a fucking punk rock band? Dude, the record that you have hates you. The record hates you, you fucking pig. Fuck you, man. You know, but I'm not... That's the thing, it's like, that's great, you know, that she surfs and whatever, and she might be a cool person, but this is... It was like... It's like with Beto. You know, everyone's all into Beto because he was in a band and whatever... and lost touch with, like, well, let's actually look at his voting record and where he gets his money from, and...
Right, Aaron.
You know?
I know, exactly, right, dude? And it's like, it seems to me that a lot of liberals that I have seen and see on Facebook and that I talk to and stuff, it's all about, yeah, we're all cool with that. As long as it's not fucking Trump, we don't care. As long as they're not taking rubles and taking, you know, money from corporations, we're cool with that. You know what? Fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you, you fucking idiots. You're going to get us in the same goddamn mess. You're not part of the solution. You're continuing to be part of the problem. If you don't do your homework and figure out who the fuck these people are and where they're getting their money. That's the bottom line. And it's, I mean, it's, I'm kind of melancholy about this whole thing. I'm kind of sad. I really wanted Tulsi to, you know, my congresswoman to, you know, be the bastion of progressive values and you know, want all this shit, the same kind of shit that I want. But bottom line is, man, it ain't happening. is these fucking people are war hawks, and they want to continue our fucking war.
It's going to be an
And they're
interesting.
taking money from corporations.
It's going to be a
I
fascinating.
mean, dude, sorry. You take money from corporations, I'm out. Fuck you. I'm out.
It's going to be a fascinating playing field because I mean, you know, if Bernie runs, obviously he's going to run. So we're going to have Bernie. We're going to have.
You think Bernie's gonna run?
Yeah, you know, he has to. I mean, well, yeah. But it would be Bernie, Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi, Kamala Harris, and did I leave someone out? Yeah, well, that's it. We have the essential. So it's the three women that have declared now, which is pretty fucking awesome, man. Actually, if you just all political positions and whatever aside, the first three Democrats that have declared are women. First three Democrats have come out sort of
bro.
that said, "Hey, we're running to bring down Trump." Was three women, first people right out the gate. I think that's pretty cool.
Right, dude. I mean, it's awesome. And like I was gonna say that I came from a place where Geraldine Ferrero was the first female on a fucking presidential ticket, and now we have actual females running for office. So
that are viable, that are
we're not too
options.
stoked.
You know, that are viable
Well, I
options. That are not like, oh, come on. I mean, these are people that have already been talked about as possibly running. None of these are surprises.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
You're absolutely right. There's another one, bro. There's another female I can't think that's in Congress that a lot of liberals and progressives are looking at. And I can't think of her in my head. I haven't heard anything about her running, but I can't remember. Mike from Punk Rock and Politics was talking to us about it. And she's just the same. She's another fucking corporate Democrat.
are you talking about Kirsten Gillibrand?
That's exactly what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, she's awful.
See, what did I say? Another fucking corporate.
No, and here's the
Democrat,
thing
right?
with Kirsten Gillibrand is like Jane talks about it a lot, and I think he's right. Is nobody knows who the hell she is. The reason people know the name Kirsten Gillibrand is because like CNN and MSNBC drone on endlessly about Kirsten Gillibrand. Like CNN did their top 5 like most popular picks for Democratic ticket. Bernie was like number 3. Okay. And like and they had Kirsten Gillibrand in there, and of course like it was
Harris.
No, Joe Biden, and then Cory Booker, and like, and Kamala Harris. Yeah, and Kamala Harris.
I don't like Cory Booker.
No, Cory Booker's no, I'm not.
I'm sorry. He's
into him at all.
Kamala Harris squared.
No, you know what? You know what, dude? Hey, Cory, you can go fucking pitch a tent over there at fucking Pfizer or Bayer or whatever other fucking big pharma company you want to fucking live in. Fuck you, homie. Fuck you. You don't give a shit about people, man. Fuck Cory Booker, dude. Fuck that dude. And he's our generation, bro. So he's got that fucking Sam Cedar and have been sort of cautious. The crew at the majority party, but I think sort of cautious to categorize them as the sort of Gen X crew, but there is that sort of element to it, and Cory Booker is the one who gets put in that. Anyway, he has that sort of, yeah, I could kick you with that dude at the fucking pub or whatever aesthetic, and like, but the dude you're kicking it with at the pub took shit tons of money from fucking Big Pharma and voted the fuck over our ability to get fucking affordable drugs for people that are sick and dying. So,
yes, Aaron, exactly. Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I was thinking of. He did take money from Big Pharma, and he did fucking not vote for, lowering drug prices for seniors. I mean, it's bullshit. He's a fucking corporate asshole motherfucker.
I don't think
if you support.
And I don't think he's gonna. I would be really surprised, honestly, if he fucking declared and actually ran. Like, he'll get CNN and MSNBC, and they're always going to throw his name out as a potential, whatever, just like Kirsten Gillibrand, even though, like, Anybody watching, do you know who she is? I mean, really. And if you've heard the name, what do you really know about her? Anything? Is she someone that you've sat on your own and thought, yeah, man, there's a potential presidential candidate? No, just people within the, the bubble of the establishment in Washington. Anyway, yeah.
And see, you know what, Eric? That's it. It's establishment. And this is one of the things that we have talked about since day fucking one. Is what is like, the foundation of punk rock? Isn't it anti-establishment? Haven't we been anti-establishment from day one? And that's what these fucking Democrats are. And it's just sad to see how many people just, as long as they're not Republican or Trump, they're down. Hell yeah, get them on. Bring Joe back in. I'm like, oh my God, no, please, seriously, really? Let's just vote Hillary back in, and why don't we? It's fucking ridiculous.
So anyway, that's who's running that we know of now. That's kind of the very beginnings of the 2020 playing field. I want to get Trump wall stuff, but
yeah.
And this fucking
what are we at, day 20?
No, not the fucking what did our follower call it? The right wing takeover. One of our followers was like, please don't call it a shutdown. It's not a shutdown. For one, it minimizes what it really is, and it gives people the ability to decide what's important and what's not. Like, okay, so we've decided that parks aren't really that important, and people who need SSI, not SSI, but like TAMF and SNAP, that's not necessarily important to keep the government running. Right?
No,
so it's not really a government
right.
It's not a government shutdown. It's fucking ridiculous. It's not a government shutdown. It's just a good way to a political tool and a nice little political football to throw around at the expense of the most marginalized, poorest people who have the least amount of access to speaking up for themselves or fighting for themselves in response to being used in this way. Well, they starve and are freezing because their heat turns off or end up homeless, whatever. But
we're talking about 800,000 federal workers. 800,000 federal workers.
That's not all of it, bro. I mean, like, people aren't going to be getting their tax returns. You know what I'm saying? Like, starting tomorrow, this becomes the longest shutdown in American history. Where is my...
Yeah, exactly. And who gets blamed for shutting down the government? The president. When he shut down under Clinton, who got blamed? Clinton.
Well...
And what did fucking Cittadini say about it? It's the president's fault. He's a fucking asshole. He can't control anything. It's his fault, right? Guess what, dude? It sickens me that he's using this as a political fucking pawn. And all these people as tools so that he can get this goddamn vanity wall, bro, because that's what it is, a fucking vanity wall.
I think it's more than that, but that's kind of the basic gist of it. But check it out. I want to play this song here, and then we can move on and talk about more about the wall itself and the possibility of a declared national emergency.
Right, because it wasn't a national emergency on Tuesday, but now it is.
But first, Dude, Joe Jackson has a new album out, Holmes.
Yeah,
it's
you were
coming out.
Me,
well, it's coming out January 18th.
4 songs or something?
It's coming out January 18th, full-length album. But this is one of the songs that's on it. It's called Fabulously Absolute. It fucking rules. And then we'll be back and talking some more shit on some shit. Friday, what the fuck?
There you go.
So that's off the new Joe Jackson record, dude.
I like that. That's good.
I like that a lot. I can't wait to get the entire freaking record. Hold on a sec. Whoops, I gotta do this first. Whoops. So, Michael, we're gonna talk now about the goddamn wall and what Trump is willing to do. Now, first of all, the wall is being proposed for a crisis that does not exist, and I don't want to get into it. Like, we've covered it on our show at length. Every even mainstream media outlet has covered it ad nauseum, at length, about how there is literally no threat at the border. Statistically, crime is far higher amongst citizens than immigrants, and
The State Department came out and said there was no crisis.
no crisis. And what was it, like 6 people have been found at the border in the last however many years that have been connected or whatever, right? Like,
I think it was like 4.
but they keep throwing around words like thousands. You know, the administration.
Not 4,000.
Right.
That's bullshit.
No, like less than 10 over years. And not that they like found a terrorist at the border and caught them with their shoe bomb or their underwear bomb or whatever. It's that people that they know came through whatever the border means, went on later, years later, and committed some type of, you see what I'm saying? Like, there is no, because
Those people came through the airport.
if the Border Patrol or ICE had found one fucking member of MS-13 or one Middle Eastern-based Islamic extremist ISIS member at the border, we just saw their picture relentlessly on Fox News for 2 weeks and heard all about it, right? I mean,
Oh my God.
but no, it's
Hello.
thousands.
They were
It's
at that
thousands.
Dude, they were at that fucking house in Redlands for a month after that. Those terrorists shot up that the fucking place in San Bernardino. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't let that shit go for a month or more.
So this fucking dude, politician motherfucker Mo Brooks, goes on CNN, and what he's trying to do is defend Trump declaring a national emergency to get the funds for the wall. And it's kind of a long clip, and I'm just going to let it play. We'll talk over it some, and then maybe stop it in a couple places, right? But it's astounding, bro, the level of disgusting from this motherfucker. And it's, you know, it's CNN, so it's just some establishment, you know, corporate talking head that's talking to him, but he actually does a pretty good job on calling him on some basic factual shit, and it's fun to see this dude fucking real.
Oh, let's check this out.
Yeah. So, whoops, I gotta. And to our viewers, I will get quicker at these transitions. And eventually I have a camera, and then I can just play the damn thing and not have to switch everything up like this. But this is what
Until
the
that
fuck
point.
Friday.
The president has the authority to make this national emergency declaration.
Because the United States Code says so.
You, though, have had a long record of being opposed to what you call executive overreach. The 2015 version of Congressman Mo Brooks signed on to an amicus brief that had real issues when the president, then Obama, used executive authority. Let me read you part of that. It says, "This is not a partisan issue. When one branch of the constitutionally usurps the powers of another, it affects all Americans because it threatens the very core of our system of checks and balances that has served our government and America so well for so long. If the president can unilaterally change the law as he says he can, why then did America's founders create Congress. Why does it appear you have one set of rules for President Obama and another for President Trump?
Well, John, once again, you guys at CNN are miserable. Those are different circumstances than what we face today. What we're facing today is a national emergency of major proportions.
Right.
And Congress has
Major
delegated
proportions.
to the President of the United States the right, and it's expressed in the United States Code, you can look it up yourself, the right to declare a national emergency under certain circumstances. This meets that bill. So if
Why?
you want to talk apples and apples,
Why?
let's do it. But
Why?
don't make up stuff and try to mislead the
I'm not
public.
making up stuff, and I'll get to why I'm not. What's the emergency?
Let's look at 9/11 by way of example. We lost 3,000 people, more or less, on 9/11. That justified going to war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and our troops are still there to varying degrees. 3,000. With the southern border, we had the loss of at least 15,000 Americans a year.
By what?
That's part of the justification.
By what?
How?
15,000 a year being killed at the
We
U.S.
probably
border.
lose that much, bro, or more in gun deaths. I don't know what the fucking number is, but on a yearly basis, we lose over 3,000 people to gun violence in this country. Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it's
see
a
him
lot
starting
more
a
than that.
fucking war over that.
15,000 people, he just said. This guy just
How?
got on here.
How?
This is
How do we
Representative
have
Mo
people
Brooks.
fucking coming over the border?
Oh, he's a member of
Because
the he's a member of the Armed Services Committee.
that don't mean shit.
Well, I mean, what it means is that he has
All
power,
that means is they like.
and he's part of the military-industrial complex, bro. That's I'm not saying he's an expert or whatever, but it tells you
Okay.
where he's coming from. But this man just got on fucking national television and said that 15,000 people a year are murdered at the border.
We lose 15,000 people a year because of illegal immigration. Explain yourself, bro. Tell me how this works, please.
What?
Why won't it play?
You had 2,000 that are homicides by 2,000 that are homicides by illegal aliens, according to federal government data. You've got another 16,000 that die each year from heroin overdoses, 90% of which comes across our porous southern border.
All right.
That's not counting the 55,000.
Heroin overdoses because the drugs coming over the border. Have we not? Has this not been resoundingly debunked on every fucking outlet that there is? I mean, what a tired ass fucking attempt at a talking
Dude,
point.
seriously. Let's talk about OxyContin. Let's talk about Vicodin. It's not heroin, motherfuckers. It's opium coming over from Afghanistan, where we've been at war for 18 motherfucking years, and it's not coming across the southern border, goddammit.
No.
It's coming across in airplanes and bullshit. And it's coming across, bro, from big pharmacy.
Yeah, it's coming over with prescriptions and bottles
Oxycodone,
with
OxyContin,
a
all
doctor's
that
name on
shit
it.
is a derivative. All that shit's a derivative of fucking opium. You refine it, you get heroin. You refine it more, you get codeine. You refine it more, you get Vicodin. You refine it a little bit more. I mean, and this is what you fucking oxycodone and all these other fucking derivatives of heroin. Okay, but no, let's not address the goddamn, opium epidemic that we have in this country. Let's blame the heroin that's coming across the border. It's not happening.
See, and that's what
And
I'm saying,
motherfuckers
Michael.
gotta blame-
Listen, that's why I say that his wall it's more than a vanity wall. It serves this purpose. It gives people the opportunity to come at this talking point and be like, man, all the drugs coming, all these, because people are hearing all the time about the serious fucking opioid epidemic in America. A lot of people, though, don't understand that it's a prescription opioid epidemic as opposed to people banging up in their fucking, from their street shit, right?
No, and I do, however, think that it's becoming a little bit more known that this is an opium epidemic, that it starts from people who have an injury and get painkillers, and then...
Well, right, but
get
look,
addicted.
I know. Some people are starting to realize that. A lot of people, okay? But the point being is that this whole wall narrative gives people the talking point like this guy has to come out and talk about and blame all that on this border
drugs coming
thing.
across the border.
So it doesn't just it doesn't just stoke xenophobic hatred in the country, which it does, but it also gives cover for big pharma. And there's
Right.
there's a number of other examples, I think, that this narrative serves that purpose. You know?
No, and I absolutely agree with you, but it also gives cover to corporate welfare. Okay? You want to blame the fucking brown people because you ain't got a job? Why don't you talk about how much fucking money
That's right.
that Google did not pay the government last year? Why don't you talk about the fucking money that the 4 major oil companies did not pay our government last year? Okay? All right, corporate welfare. These fucking corporations are getting tax breaks like crazy. And you know where they're going? Into the pockets of the fucking CEOs. Trickle-down economics is a fucking myth. And if you haven't figured that out by now, fuck off our page. Bottom line, okay? All right, and that's exactly what this is. Oh, we're going to give money? Yeah, we're going to give them tax breaks so that they can hire more people. It doesn't fucking happen.
It serves multiple purposes, this fucking wall
No,
narrative.
you're right. It absolutely does. And yeah, it's like, okay, and blame brown person for, you losing your job. And blame the brown people for bringing the fucking heroin over the line because your nephew died of fucking an opium addiction, and
they're coming to kill you, so you better go buy a bunch of guns because it's an invasion, and Trump just came out and said that there's another caravan and it's even bigger, which I haven't looked into specifically a new caravan, but he's probably right. I mean, because this caravans have been happening for years. Right? And every time one comes, and Trump just likes to make a big deal out of it because it's useful. But
well, yeah,
it just serves so many narratives. But let's get back to this fucking asshole.
Overdoses.
Let me take
a
those
significant
statistics.
amount of which comes across the southern border. So how many dead people do you have to have, John?
Let me take those statistics. Let me take those statistics one at a time. Yes, the predominant amount of heroin does come from the southern border, but the vast majority of it comes at ports of entry. Number one. Number two, you said there are those people who have died at the hands of undocumented immigrants. Let me put up this chart. The crime rate among undocumented immigrants is actually less than, and this includes.
I have looked at those studies.
This is from the Cato Institute.
I have looked at those studies. If you want political propaganda, you go ahead and use it.
This is from the Cato Institute. Okay. So
each and every one of them is flawed.
These studies, which you say flawed, but other people often lean on, note that crime among undocumented immigrants is less than native-born citizens. I will ask you this: if there is a murder rate among native-born citizens, is that a national emergency?
That is totally immaterial to the issue at hand. The issue at hand is how many Americans would be alive today but for our poor southern border, but for illegal aliens and the homicides that they commit upon American citizens.
How do you fucking sleep at night,
and children that are losing their lives who would be alive today. If we had a border security,
is that fucking car worth it?
Wall, if we had the
house worth it?
Okay.
Congress to protect American lives.
You said bro. Again, we're talking about drugs. The vast majority comes in at ports of entry, not between the ports of entry, not anywhere that a wall would be. I only know before, and when you're talking about violent crime, when you talk about the crime rate, my question to you again, you're saying people would be alive.
What comes in from Canada and what comes in through ports of entry is not the issue. The issue is what comes in across the southern border and whether we want to continue to enable illegal aliens and drug cartels to take the lives of American citizens through their marketing of these poisonous substances.
You're conflating.
And you want to by talking about other things.
I'm not talking about. I am talking about what you were talking about, sir. You were talking about stuff coming over the southern border. What I am telling people is that the statistics, including the government's own statistics, say most of them come at ports of entry. I think any death is unfortunate. Congressman, let me finish.
You ought to join us to get the Democrats to shutting down the government because they refuse to have the kind of border security that will protect American lives.
This is a debate over the wall. This is a debate over a wall right now, Congressman. What you were telling me
over border
is
security.
a wall.
The wall is a component of that.
Well, the Democrats agreed to $1.3 billion in border security. What they did not agree to was the wall, so that is what the government is shut down.
I'm sorry, but I've yet to see a Democrat in the halls of Congress that really believes in border security and is willing to do what is necessary to save American lives.
They agreed to 1.3.
They talk about
They agreed to $1.3 billion in border security. Many of them voted over a year ago to a plan that would have provided $25 billion for a border wall that included
only in exchange for a vast amount of amnesty for potentially millions.
Thank you. Oh my God in hell. Thank you. Can I just point out one thing?
Absolutely.
Anytime anybody defends a point with so much animosity and so much fucking vile, you know that there's something wrong. If he was absolutely sure on his point, he'd sit back there calm and relaxed and say, "You're wrong. This is what happens, and this is how it happens."
Which is
But
what
anybody that gets up in their fucking face like this is absolutely defending a fucking lie.
right. Which is if
Remember
you
that,
watch,
people.
which is this CNN talking head guy's job is so easy because all these statistics and all these things are readily available. So the CNN guys very calmly like 1.3 billion, and then a few years ago 25 billion,
And can't get a fucking word in edgewise.
right, because this guy has to dying children and you don't care, and the Democrats with their shutdown, like this
This
fucking
has nothing to do with the point.
like this fucking toolbag doesn't know
It
that.
absolutely does, fucker.
No, but everyone in America knows that that Trump fucking called this his shutdown. And everyone in America knew that the second he did it, he would blame it on the Democrats. And this fucking dude comes out.
Most
and,
of America.
Well, right. No, you know what? His fucking supporters knew it too. They just love that it pisses off. I don't, yeah.
I agree with it that there's a big part of them that enjoy pissing off liberals and leftists.
Right, right. And there's a bunch of them that are just racist and love this, and there's a bunch of people who just believe it and think that the deep state shut down QAnon and Nancy Pelosi is just trying to run a pedophile ring, and there's people who believe this shit, you know. And anyway, there's some more. The way he wraps it up is really good, yeah. And you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll move it forward towards the end because it is fucking. It's some prime fucking video, bro. I think this should be good.
Democratic president who believes that climate change was involved with the hurricane. Thousands of people die from it. Could that president, he or she, then say he needs a national emergency declaration to get money to fight that?
I'm sorry, that was kind of convoluted the way I heard it.
Well, the fact of the matter is that the whole argument is convoluted for a National Emergency Act for wall funding.
No, one more time. One more time, dude. Oh, that's just too good.
President who believes that climate change was involved with the hurricane. Thousands of people die from it. Could that president, he or she, then say he needs a national emergency declaration to get money to fight that?
I'm sorry, that was kind of convoluted the way I heard it. Would you please restate
The
it?
fact of the matter is that the whole argument is convoluted for a National Emergency Act for wall funding. Also, what I'm saying is if the president can make the claim that national security money, emergency money is needed for a wall, could a president at one point say it's needed to fight climate change?
I would have to look at the specific statutes to see what you can and cannot do. That is so far out there.
Why? If it's a matter of national security, if it is a matter of national security and the president deems it so, why is it outside the purview of the law?
I don't see how that example that you gave affects the national security of the United States of America.
The Pentagon and the intelligence
We're
services
talking
often
about
talk about the
securing-
effect of climate change. I'm
That's
making
right.
a hypothetical argument here. But
In this instance, we're talking about protecting the southern border. Any nation
From
to
our
exist
imaginary
has
threat.
borders, and the primary function.
You notice how it's always only the southern border they want to protect.
Right, right.
So that is a matter of national security by definition.
Most illegal immigrants coming
By
to this country
definition.
are coming on overstayed visas, which is something you note. And when we
That
talk
is
about the
another-
border,
yes.
we talk about a border emergency. I will note that the numbers here, coming to the border at or near an historic low. And insofar as it's changed, it's mothers with babies
I'm
walking
sorry, but I
over
disagree
the
with that.
ports of entry.
Oh, I disagree with that fact.
Data that you've thrown out there.
That data,
But I agree
that
with you.
verifiable
What you
factual
just stated
data,
is that the
yeah,
law is
yeah,
a
I
subpart of our
disregard
border
that.
security crisis. It's a subpart.
Because border
We've
security
also got
crisis,
visa
'cause it-
overstays, which is why we have to do e-verify in order to ensure that illegal aliens in the United States of America do not take jobs from American citizens.
Will the wall
Do
keep
not
them out?
flood the
Will the
labor
wall,
market.
will the wall
Do not-
stop?
You can get customized insurance
American
and
citizens. And then he finally comes back up, but the jobs and American citizens. Oh, God. I don't know, man. It's like I almost find that encouraging.
That's what they're doing. They're taking American citizen jobs away from the fucking fruit pickers, the strawberry pickers and the dishwashers and the kitchen help and the bakers and, all these people that do all this fucking work that, I don't know, white people don't want to motherfucking do. But, it has nothing to do with the fact that corporations are downsizing. And the bottom line is, bro, I mean, we are almost in 2020. It's amazing we don't have motherfucking flying cars and we're not living like the goddamn Jetsons right now, right? But I'm just saying, we do live in technology and automation is definitely something that's taking over things in the workplace. But what it's doing is it's changing the type of jobs that are necessary. And what's going to happen is now we're going to need service jobs. There's going to be people we need, the things that, robots and shit can't do. So the economy's changing, right? It just happens. That's what happens in a fucking capitalist society. Okay? So it has in the past, it's changed in the fucking past. Remember, like in the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s and early 1900s? Our fucking economy is not the same. We don't have manufacturing jobs anymore. We're not manufacturing shit. Okay? Those manufacturing jobs aren't coming back. Okay? There are different jobs now, and you have to train yourself differently. And where we're fucking falling short is education. To train people to get into these jobs. Instead of training them on how to be fucking robots and how to conform and live, without questioning authority, like the schools are doing now, we need to teach people how to actually, live in the fucking 21st century. But, I don't know, we don't have, college costs so much money and people go into debt for the rest of their motherfucking lives to get an education. They don't want to do that. Dude, I mean, seriously, back when I graduated in 81, bro, you could get a fucking construction job working full-time, 5 days a week with great motherfucking benefits, great pay, and support a family. Until Reagan came in 86 and fucked up the labor unions. Okay? Shit changes, man, and we got to adjust to it. And education is the foundation of that. So that's where I'm going to come back with my progressive, education should be free for all, for everybody.
Absolutely.
But
I agree. That's why this socialist is paying close attention to people like AOC, who are not socialists. Okay? And, because, free education. Access to knowledge, access to the information that makes our world work. Why are we being denied that information? That's what education is. Education is, here's everything we know about how the world works, as best we know it thus far. That's it. That's what education is. Why do you have to be rich to have access to that? It's fucking bullshit. Well,
I mean, it's the same with healthcare, bro. It's the same with healthcare. Rich people get the great motherfucking healthcare. And if if you're so-called middle class, which doesn't exist anymore, or you get healthcare. And if you're poor, guess what you get? Shit on a stick.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that we're motherfucking human and that we have certain inalienable rights granted to us as humans. We need certain things as human people. As beings, as, you know what I mean? We need shelter, we need warmth, we need food, we need water, we need air. And yet we gotta fucking pay for this shit.
So
pretty soon they're gonna charge us for fucking air, oxygen.
Welcome
to capitalism.
There was some story on Mediaite involving Chuck Todd that you wanted to talk about. Let me grab it.
It was something briefly I saw, and I mean, I barely looked at it. I can't even tell you the name of the damn TV show. But apparently there was this black and white TV show back in the 50s, and one of the episodes had to deal with this con man that came into the town and tried to sell everybody a wall to build around their house. And his name was Trump.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, so I haven't seen
No.
this yet. So, I've got the video here. Hold on. Full screen it. Take it to 0.
Fucking cool. Right on.
Oh, I gotta turn the volume up. Hold on.
You missed it, boy. They sure don't make them like they used to, right? In an age of on-demand, go-everywhere, quick-fish streaming video, don't you sometimes miss the rosy, genteel days of vintage television? They harken back to a simpler time, don't they? Well, actually,
Yes.
perhaps not. But the internet is abuzz this week over a 1950s era that aired on CBS. It was called Trackdown, and it starred a young Robert Culp as a Texas Ranger. Move over, Chuck Norris. The plot line of one episode is generating a lot of attention. It's subtle. See if you can figure out why.
You hear about Trump? I bring you a message. A message I alone was able to read in the fires of the universe. What are you selling, mister? Your name is Trump? Be careful, son. I can sue you. In order to arrest him, a sheriff has to have a charge. Well, there's got to be some way to stop him. I am the only one. Trust me. I can build a wall around your homes that nothing will penetrate. You ask, how do you build that wall? You ask, and I'm here to tell you. You're a liar, Trump.
We're not making this up, not to put too fine a point on it, but in 1958, CBS aired a sitcom about a man who tried to convince people to build a wall in Texas and whose name was Trump. Apparently, this extremely weird coincidence was picked up by Snopes a few years ago. Candidly, we missed it then. But we didn't miss it this time, and now we have to live with it. How about finding the footage? We were happy about that. Doesn't it feel like just a little bit like we've traveled through another dimension? Yeah, that's all we have for tonight. Maybe Biff will give us the timeline back.
Fuck off, Chuck Todd.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Wow, man.
No shit, right? I mean, come on. Is that like life imitating art?
I don't
Dude,
know what that
I have a
is.
feeling it probably. I have a feeling it probably had to do with Old Man Trump, his dad.
Yeah.
Because Old Man Trump was fucking quite.
Well, he was.
Blatant.
Well, he was
racist
busted
and-
numerous times for housing discrimination based on racist lines, and you know,
Right. I mean, come on, fucking.
he's gone.
Well, Guthrie wrote a song about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was totally about Fred. Wow. I'll build the wall around your house. You can only trust me. I mean, it's fascism.
I was run. Yeah, right.
Snake oil selling fascism, man.
And now here we have it on a global market, and people are fucking sucking it up like it was Cheerios.
So, I want to play one more song, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Steve King. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
now I think a lot of people know that he came out and said, what's wrong with white supremacy? What's wrong with that? Ohio Representative Steve King. Okay, whatever. But he took a lot of shit for it, and then he went on the Senate floor today and used the People's Hall of Government, whatever. Oh my God! But this is just a video.
Yeah, you better play some music so we can come back and talk.
Yeah,
about this.
now this is just a video that. Where'd it go? Oh, that's really good though. I almost want to play that one instead. But this, I don't know a lot about this, but I sub Blank TV, and Blank TV just premieres videos all the time, and it's all over the place. Sometimes it's really good music, and sometimes it's real garbage. But it's worth subbing. I would sub Blank TV. You just they 3 or 4 new videos in your feed every day, and like I would say I come up with like 5 or 6 good songs a week from them. It's kind of cool. But Like I like this one, and the reason I actually want to play it, it has a really kind of good, kind of early, like mid '70s art rock punk feel to it. But the comments on it on the video were like fascists all freaking out and talking shit on it. So I was like, okay, yeah, I think I'll play that just because of that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it's by Jim Bush. The song is called "Taste of Fantasy," and so yeah, I'll get this queued up. We'll play it, and then we'll come back and we're gonna talk about Steve fucking King, man. Holy shit, what a scumfuck. Oh, I forgot. I have to minimize your fucking fat head. I like your fat head, homie.
There we go.
This is Jim Bush, Taste of Fantasy.
Wake up, early birds. You're listening to Mike and Maddie in the morning. If you're still in bed, well, you're probably late for work already. Here's a new hit by Jim Bush. Taste of Fantasy.
Sing my day. You're not helpless. All kind of slipping. I really like you felt that way. I know you will never be so I'll tell you what it is now. Fantasy. She looks away there, looks at me. I want to make fun. I guess we take back another taste of fantasy. I know you may never know. So I'll tell you taste of
Yeah. So not to be mistaken with the other Bushes. You couldn't see the video, Mike, but it's it had all kinds of fun.
I saw it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay. Oh, that's right, because you can
Yeah,
see the stream.
I'm watching. I'm the one viewer on YouTube.
Yeah. No, what are you talking about? The one viewer, fucking Mr. Black is here. I always want to call Mr. Black Mr. Black, but what's up, Mr. Black? So
how's it, Mr. Black?
I guess deal with it. I for some reason I got into my head that you're Mr. Black, but welcome. So we're gonna talk about this fucking Steve King shit, man.
What the hell, yeah?
Okay, so he actually addresses.
Dude, I
Go ahead.
really have a hard time. have a hard time believing these people aren't in our fucking Congress.
Oh, I
That dude
don't.
on CNN was a congressman.
I don't. I mean, our country was rooted in racism. Our original founding fathers owned people. It's almost not that
Yeah,
surprising.
true,
I mean,
true.
like, and that's the thing is like, I don't mean to shit on you for your bewilderment, because I think a lot of people in America are like, what? You know? And
Well, I guess.
but that's the thing. We got to get real
I'm
with
not. I
it,
don't
and we
live
got
that
to
way.
address it, and it has to fucking stop. It has to fucking stop. No more racism. No more fucking bigotry and fucking sexism and homophobia and xenophobia. It has to end.
Agreed.
This is the generation. Yep. This is the time in human history when we fuck that. Fuck that. And so, look, man. Let me go ahead and play this clip. This is him addressing the Senate. So this is in the public record now. And he addresses his tweet. This is so fucking gross, bro. It really is. Oops. Oh, no, that's right. It's over here. I don't know why I care so much that he used the Senate floor to do this, but because I don't even really have a whole lot of respect for that. But I just think it is very emblematic or whatever of look, this is what our government is. This is what's happening in Washington. This is what our hallowed halls are being used for. And it's very easy for them to be used in this way. And I think that that's a fundamental systemic problem in our governmental structure altogether, is that it makes room for people to step in and do this shit. We need a society where this kind of crap is just completely not acceptable.
It's not. It's not put up with.
Right.
It's not tolerated at all.
At all. I don't care about words, bro. I don't care if you say white supremacist. I don't care if you say the word fuck. I care if you say words that have been used to oppress and marginalize people. You know, when I was younger, it took me a long time to figure that out. That, like, because I'm a punk rocker. Don't tell me what fucking word I can say and I can't say. Because you're telling me I can't say the N word or the B word or these kind of things, I'm gonna say them because I don't want to be told I can't say them. It took me time to realize that the way those words have really been and continue to be used to really hurt people's lives, man. And when I got it, it was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I have a good reason. And that's always my thing, bro. Give me a very specific reason why I shouldn't say fuck right now. Well, because it's offensive. Well, to who and why?
Fuck you.
Right. Well, because because well, if you come to me and go, well, because they use that word to lynch my ancestors and tie them to trees and whip them and rape our wives and separate us from our wives and steal our fucking children. Like, oh, okay. Okay. Now there's a good reason.
The bottom line is,
you know?
Aaron, the bottom line is, bro, nobody told you not to say that word. You made that choice on your own. Just like I did. That's not a word that white people own anymore, in my opinion. Black people own that word, not us. Fuck that.
Well, but it's the same thing with words like...
It's not okay.
Like it's so, you know, punk rocker, you should be able to fucking whatever. Don't tell people freedom to say whatever you want, man. Free speech. I can say fucking bitch if I want. Well, I've heard good arguments now for why we shouldn't use that word. I haven't heard a good argument for why I shouldn't say shit and butthole and fucking... you know, maggoty-infested pile of scum shit, fascist piece of shit. I haven't heard a good argument for why I shouldn't say those words. But anyway...
No, but who made those choices, bro? We made those choices, not anybody else for us.
I got this here. So this is, again, this is from Mediaite. But this is Steve King on the goddamn... Steve King gives House floor speech on white supremacy comments. Quote unquote, unnecessary controversy, he says. Oh, man. Oh, it gave me the fucking ad again. You motherfuckers.
Speaker, thank the gentleman from Texas for yielding to me here this afternoon. And I come to the floor here at the United States House of Representatives with a specific purpose today, and that's to address an issue that's become a controversy. I regret that. I made a freshman mistake a week ago today when I took a call from a reporter from the New York Times. And that was a 56-minute interview without a tape. That resulted in a long article. In that article were snippets of the 56-minute interview. Part of that inquiry was about the history of the immigration policy in this country for over the last, say, 18 or so years, of which I have been a significant part, especially in Iowa, as we have a voice to shape policy and help these presidential candidates move on to the Oval Office. I'm great.
He's such a fucking good dude who's just been doing all this great work, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah, right. That's what he's doing.
and you know what, Mike? You got to keep your don't mute your mic anymore. Every time you do, it creates a bunch of static. So if you want to stuff your face, you can save it for after the show. I love you.
All right, fine,
Much
sorry.
of the policy that was debated then is in the Oval Office today, and it's being debated all over this country. But one phrase in that long article has created an unnecessary controversy. That was my mistake, Mr. Speaker. And so I want to start this out with some context to that discussion, and that is this, that if you can control the language, you can control the policy. Labels have been hurled in this country at people like we have never seen in this history of America. I made a point on this in a September 12th tweet that I sent out as a component of this broader dialogue. And here is the tweet, verbatim, Mr. Speaker. The word Nazi is injected into leftist talking points because the worn out and exhausted word racist is overused and applied to nearly everyone.
Okay, so that's something we need to make that distinction. So what he's saying, what he's trying to do is say that it's people are being mischaracterized as racist, and now you hear this from the fascists all the fucking time, that they're being mischaracterized, that it's a sort of catch-all phrase that the left uses for anybody they don't like, which is ridiculous bullshit. Like, I will agree that the word racist and the word Nazi can be used a little too liberally among liberals, and I agree that they should check that and make sure. Here's actually something I would like to say to people is replace Nazi and racist with fascist and bigot. If you just kind of purge Nazi and racist from your go-to words and replace them with fascist and bigot, you're going to be off to a much better. You'll have a much better chance of being accurate. Because a lot of
Why did you say that?
Well, because most of the far right wingers are fascist, but they might not match the German Nazi model of fascism. Maybe they're more like Pinochet's beliefs. Maybe they're more like Mussolini. Maybe they like Bolsonaro. Okay, being a fascist doesn't make you a Nazi.
And same with the same with bigot and racist. Because
Right.
you may not necessarily be racist, but you may be a fucking misogynist asshole.
Right. Or you might be a homophobe.
Right? So I mean,
You might have
Exactly.
nothing but
And that
every
still
one
makes
of
you
your friends might be a person of color, but ain't none of them gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so bigotry is pretty good because a pretty damn good chance any of these extreme right wingers are a bigot in some way, and it ultimately what they're doing, what this movement is now, what the right wing is now, is a fascist movement. Or proto-fascist, whatever you want to fucking call it. Like, it's not outright military state fascism going out conquering other countries yet. Well, we're conquering other countries. Jesus Christ, we've been doing that forever. That's just American imperialism. But anyway, but I just wanted to point that out, that what he's doing is he's trying to make this distinction that in order to cover him saying what's wrong with white supremacy, trying to say, oh, no. Racism and Nazi, these just are blanket words that the left just calls anybody they disagree with. It's just not true. That's just not true. It's a totally faulty premise, and I wanted to make that distinction. So here we go.
That's the foundation for that discussion with, at least part of that discussion with the New
No, it
York
isn't.
Times relationship.
Here, you might want to
So
check the phone,
at this
bro.
point, I'll read the quote that have brought about this controversy, Mr. Speaker. And this is from the New York Times article titled, Before Trump, Steve King set the agenda for the wall and anti-immigrant politics, which, by the way, is a bit pejorative because I've never been anti-immigrant. I have been anti-illegal immigrant, and I remain that way. But here's the quote.
Says it's live.
Quote, white nationalist, white supremacist, and this is from me, by the way, Mr. Speaker, white nationalist, white supremacist, Western civilization, how did that language become offensive? Mr. King said, why did I sit in classes teaching me about the merits of our history and our civilization? That's off of this article, and that's the substance of this heartburn that seems to be churning across the media in America today. And so I look at that and I think, well, what was that conversation? It was about how those words got plugged into our dialogue, not when the words became offensive, which is what the technical interpretation of this is. How did that language become offensive? It's how did that offensive language get injected into our political dialogue? Who does that? How does it get done? How do they get by with laying labels like this on people? And when I ask the question, why did I sit in classes teaching me about the merits of our history and our civilization? That response was strictly for, why did I sit in Western civilization classes? To hear about the merits of our history. I've never sat in a class at any time and heard any merits about any of those other names.
That's just bullshit. The reason he brought that up was to cast aspersions on educated people. Because that's another thing that the right wing needs is you have to...
Right, because educated people are mostly liberal and leftist.
And can bring like factual, verifiable information to discount their bullshit.
You mean facts?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, those pesky things.
Where'd it go? Come on. Give me my cursor. There we go.
Including, I've never heard a merit about racist. I never heard a merit about Nazi or fascist or white nationalist or white supremacist. But Western civilization has merit, and I remain a defender. So, I put together a statement which is public, and I choose to read it into the record now, Mr. Speaker.
Here
and
it
it's
is.
this. And I quote, today the New York Times is suggesting that...
So, he just last 5 minutes spewing all that word salad and fucking mental gymnastic gobbledygook, right? To try and justify this crap.
That I'm an advocate for white nationalism and white supremacy. I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I reject those labels and the evil ideology that they define.
He rejects those labels. He doesn't reject those ideologies. He doesn't reject he rejects the labels. He's not discounting racism or white supremacy or white nationalism. He's discounting the made-up straw man version of the liberal catch-all phrase and saying, I'm not that. Well, no one's accusing you of that. What's that, Mike?
He said he denounced them. I mean, just because you say it makes it true, right?
He said he denounced what?
Well, he said that he denounced the ideology, not only the label.
No, he did not. No, he did not. He said he denounced the label. That's all he said. I denounced that label. He just spent the last 5 minutes saying that what liberals call when liberals call people white nationalists or racist or white supremacy, they're just saying that's just someone I disagree with.
And he
so,
said, I denounced that label and I denounced that ideology.
No, he did not. And we'll back it up. I may stand corrected, but I didn't hear that.
I want to
I made votes
abundantly
too.
clear. I reject those labels and the evil ideology that they define.
See, I reject those labels,
rejects the labels
and the evil ideology they define. He's not saying I reject white supremacy. He's rejecting his fake framing of the liberal argument of what racism is.
Okay.
It's a fucking very nuanced and careful thing to do because he has a very racist constituency. And he can't shit on them and denounce them because he is a fucking racist. He always has been.
Where's he from?
Ohio.
Who does he represent?
Iowa.
Which saw ultimate expression the systematic murder of 6 million innocent Jewish lives. It's true that, like the Founding Fathers, I am an advocate for Western civilization's values, and that I profoundly believe that America is the greatest tangible expression of these ideals the world has ever seen. Under any fair political definition, I am simply an American nationalist. America's values are expressed in our founding documents. They are attainable by everyone, and we take pride that people of all races, religions, and creeds from around the globe aspire to achieve them. I am dedicated to keeping America this way. This conviction does not make me a white nationalist or a white supremacist. So once again, I reject those labels and the ideology they define. And as I told the New York Times, it's not about race. It's never been about race. One of my most strongly held beliefs is that we are all created in God's image, and the human life is sacred in all of its forms. And all of my life's work, all of my public record, all of my bills, all of my votes, all of my activities support that statement that we are that human life.
Fuck off. No, it doesn't. You know, that's great that God can support all human life and all human life is precious. But slave owners thought that shit too. Slave owners thought that their slaves were super precious gifts from God. You with me, Mike?
I am with you, yes, sir. I'm just reading over some of these.
And
yeah.
Seriously,
No,
you got to stop muting your mic, and you got to keep it close to you because every time you do, it creates that was fuzz through that whole last segment. It was because you had your mic pushed aside.
I didn't mute my mic. Mic wasn't muted.
And
Anyway,
you got to keep it there.
I'm with you.
You got to keep it there. But yeah, I mean, sorry, I totally flipped out on you and lost my train of thought.
That's what you get.
Yeah, but fuck, man.
Anyway, do you want to finish playing this guy?
No, that's it. It's done.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah. You weren't listening to it though. You were busy in the chat.
I was. Well, I'm trying to bring it up on my phone so I can like see the guy as you know what I mean. There we go. Okay, I'm good now. So.
But you know, he talks about I'm an American nationalist and.
I'm sorry, nationalist just has that horrible connotation.
Well, nationalism is it's a far right notion, man, and it is fascist. It's just they have so watered down what these distinctions are. And like he's a white guy who's a nationalist, but he's not a white nationalist, but he is a white nationalist, and he is a racist. No, he's not a Nazi. He doesn't have a swastika, and he's not calling for concentration camps for the Jews. It's like he's still playing on this all racism. You can't be a racist unless you're actually a card-carrying member of the KKK or the Nazi Party. And if you're not those things,
so
you can't be racist and Nazi, or whatever. But like,
well, let's look at his voting record. I mean, you know what, dude? Fuck your mouth. I don't give a fuck what comes out of your mouth. I want to see some action. What does your action show me? What are you voting for and what are you voting against? Okay? Actions speak louder than words.
And in that moment on the House floor, he could have been like, hey, check it out. I voted on this bill this year. I voted on that bill. That was good for, this community or that community. That's what you do in that situation. How dare you accuse me of white nationalism? I voted for, House Bill 217, which actually upped the TAMP services. But he can't. He can't do that. He can't point to any one thing that he's ever done
Because there's
except
no facts
stoke
behind it.
fear and hatred and line his pockets with the donations of fucking, rich white racist pieces of shit in Iowa. Fuck that motherfucker, man.
What the fuck is in Iowa? I thought there was only cornfields in Iowa. I need to get out more.
Man, there's racism everywhere, bro. Well, that was it. Look.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, what fucking corporations are like, I thought Iowa was like flat full of cornfields, so I just, I had a friend that went there and they were like, yeah, cornfields.
Yeah, well, that's high
Monsanto.
fructose corn syrup, and it's in everything, and
Oh, are you kidding? We send most of it overseas. So, yeah, and Monsanto owns most of it. So, yeah, there's a big corporation right there.
Well,
who's probably lining that dude's pocket.
Pinko the Bear is charging his phone. We were supposed to be doing. We're closing in on 9:00. We got like 10 minutes left. I'm thinking.
Mr. Pinko going to be on to join us and talk about imperialism?
Well, no, I don't think. I think I want to cut it off. It's a 7 to 9 trip. I do want to do the show with Pinko. That's something we're going to do. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good first run through, man. I think I can get quicker at those little transitions and stuff from video to, keeping Mike on the screen and switching it and doing that a little better. And then eventually we'll get a real camera and some proper software where we can, those videos I put there, you wouldn't see all this amazingness anymore. But yeah. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Mike.
and when I go on my rant, you can see my full-on, you can see the vein in my head pop out.
That's right, and I could do that stuff, like bring Mike up to talk, and you'd see him, and so you don't always just see me as the main thing. Yeah, that's where we want to get to. But this is what we have to work with now, and I think we'll get a little smoother and better at this as we go.
And we're working with it.
Yeah, so we're going to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. For starters, which again, the goal being to go Monday through Friday. And then I want to do once a week the Imperialist Report with A-Bear too. And by the way, hi A-Bear, I do see you in the chat. I understand you had phone problems and issues and just, couldn't get there, so we couldn't do it tonight. But yeah, well, I'll probably end up talking to you after we end this line stream, and then we can figure out when we can do a Imperialist Report. But we should probably, I don't know, play some music or something again. What do you think?
Sure.
I don't have anything queued.
What?
I don't have anything queued. Hey,
okay,
Mr. Black, come on, man. Don't fucking let me down. Pick me a good punk rock song to find and play. I'm waiting for you, Mr. Black.
Come on, Mr. Black. Come on. We'll play AC/DC. Give us some suggestions here. Back in Black for Mr. Black.
Well, I guess, sorry, Mr. Black, A-Bear beat you to the punch because I think Stagger Lee by Nick Cave is a really fucking good idea.
Ooh, Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds?
I think it's just Nick Cave solo.
Cool.
Let's see, live. The Weeping Song plus Staggerly in Glastonbury. I love you, homie. Good Friday, what the fuck?
Right, I love you too, Holmes.
Come on.
It was back in 42 when times were hard. Had a cool 45, a deck of cards, Stanley. He had a red torn shoes and an old Stetson hat, a 28 Ford, he had payments on that, Stanley. Well, this woman kicked him out in the ass in the snow. She said, don't you ever come back no more to Stanley. So he walked through the rain and he walked through the mud. He came to a place called the Bucket of Blood, Stanley. Oh yeah. He said, Mr. Motherfucker, you know who I am? The barkeeper said, no, and I don't give a good goddamn. To Stanley. When he said, barkeeper, it's plain to see, I'm the bad motherfucker called Stanley. I'm Mr. Stanley. Well, the barkeeper said, no, put your name down the way. And I kick motherfucking asses like you every day, Mr. Stanley. Those were the last words that the barkeep said. His name put balls in his motherfucking hand.
We love you too, MR Black. For real.
Just then in come a broad called Nelly Brown. Don't you make more money than any bitch in town? Well, she wants the custom bar hitching up her skirt over the Stanley man. She's starting to flirt. She's starting to flirt. Great Stanley. Well, she sees the barkeep, says, oh God, he can't be dead. Stag says, well, just kill the holes in the motherfucker's head. Says Stanley. She said, oh yeah. She said, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scoring kind of time. When I come to my bed, you won't costume with that. One thing you'll have to know before you begin, you'll have to be gone before my man Billy Tilly comes in. I'm gonna sit right here till time comes to pass, and furthermore, I'll fuck Billy Tilly. Says Stanley. a bad motherfucker called Steady. Yeah, I'm steady, and you better get down on your knees. Let's suck my dick. So Billy Billy kneels down and slobbers on his head. Steady fills him for the leg.
Fuck yeah.
Then in come the devil. Got a pitchfork in his hand. Well, in come the devil. Got a pitchfork in his hand. In come the devil. Said I come to take you to hell, Mr. Stephanie. In come the devil. Well, I come to take you down, Mr. Stephanie. Well, those were the last words that the devil said, 'cause they put 4 holes in his motherfucking head.
What's up, LA's wasted youth? I'm a very huge fan of your namesake. So yeah, there you go, guys. That was, I guess, what we would call, what the fuck, Friday, what the fuck, our first attempt. Let me get Mike back up here so you can see how fucking ugly he is. I'm gonna go over there and turn the fucking camera off. I'm gonna say what's up to MR Black. What's up, LA's Wasted Youth. What's up to Pinko the Bear. Thank you for joining us all. I love you, homie.
Yeah, how's it, guys? Thanks.
I love
you, bro.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
Let's do this on. Well, we should.
We'll see you guys probably on Monday, yeah?
Well, I'm thinking Sunday we should do a. No. Let's do Monday, and then next Sunday we'll roll out the new version of the What the Fuck report.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. See, Mike doesn't believe in anything. He thinks this is all a huge fucking.
I'm a nihilist.
Yeah, this is all gonna fall apart, and everyone's gonna hate us for everything we did. All right.
A nihilist.
Love you.